You had a fascinating journey, right? You started from Tamil Nadu, landed in Silicon Valley, and you became the CIO of Tesla. So I want you to take us back to time and tell me how it all started so that it can be inspiring to everyone here.
It's been a, I would say great journey from the day I came to the US. So where do you want me to start?
You can start from anywhere that is inspiring to everyone. I want everyone
I don't want to
go
bore
out.
the audience, so what will be...
How did you land in Tesla? What did you do in Tesla?
I see. So maybe start with maybe a few seconds of my roots. So now, valandadu Chennai.
Very good. Chennai people?
Chennai. Yes, Chennai, yes. எல்லாமே படித்தது எல்லாமே சென்னை. Went to Presidency College. I did my master's, University of Madras, AC Tech campus.
Very good.
My first job outside of India was, I went through a little bit of entrepreneurial journey. Indiaலயே வந்து company start பண்ணி failureலாம் முடிஞ்சு, so I'm glad I learned it very early in my life.
Very good, guys. Listen to this. Failure is part of success.
Absolutely, okay? Absolutely. I don't think I'd be here going through the success without the failures. Yep. So I went through that. It was tough. It was very rough going through those phases. But I truly believe there is so much I learned through that phase in India, which kind of forced me to go out of India to really make money. I had a big bank loan. Business failed. India lalam vandu ungalku theriyum nenikira 1990s lalam there is no VCs concept. I don't even know what that means. Yeah. The only way to borrow money is either you get it from friends and family, kudutangana, illana you have to go to the bank, and the bank will not give you loan without a collateral, so most of the time, right? And then the interest rates are crazy. Now India people are talking about 6% interest rates. India la vandu 18%, 19% interest rate la bank vandu loan kudupanga vechuங்களேன். They just eat you up. I realized much later in my career. Anga vandu we started a business. It was we thought it was going well. Someone else was running it. Then out of necessity, realized it was not going well. I had to jump in. I was still doing my masters at that time. College mudichittu nara poi I'll start doing my business. I pulled in many of my friends. We turned around the business, but kind of hit a ceiling where I don't know how to grow it further. So we needed more money. Poi we started. I went to the bank first time in I think 1995. போய் லோன் கொஞ்சம் மணி வேணும், பிஸ்னஸ் டூயிங் வெல், வி நீட் டு க்ரோ அப்படின்னும் போது அவங்க வந்து தே ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் எவ்ரி திங். நாங்கள் வரோம் தெரிஞ்சு, ஸோ ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் எவ்ரி திங். ஐ செட் ஓகே, யூ ஓ அஸ் அ லாட் ஆஃப் மணி, ஸோ யூ ஸ்டார்ட் பேயிங் தட் மணி பேக், தென் வில் கிவ் யூ மோர் மணி அப்படின்னாங்க. நான் தான் சொன்னேன், ஐயோ எங்கிட்ட காசு இருந்தால் நான் வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் க்ரோ பண்ணிருப்பேன், ஹவு வுட் ஐ பே த மணி பேக்?
Rightly said. See, this is what everyone is going through. Look at the hurdle that he crossed, right? So let's continue to hear more. Go ahead, Jay.
No. So it was kind of I can smile about it, but that time it was a big shock. So I realized there is nowhere to go for us. So then I ended up, there is no other way other than selling the business. So we had to sell. We went through a different journey. Finally ended up closing the business. We didn't make a lot of money. The bank loan still remained. I had to go, that forced me to go out of India, because you can make a lot of money in India at that time. I just finished my master's. I know computer science, but I don't know how to make big money. So I had to leave India to make more money. So I'll probably compress the journey. So I went out of India, went to Oman, Muscat, was a programmer, senior programmer, became a lead programmer, then went to Singapore sometime. And then in 1999, I relocated to US. So Oracle hired me directly, which was good. I kept from a skill set perspective, Oracle and Java was my core. I kept, up to date
Java
with my
guys,
skills.
Look it out. Java guys, you guys have still hope.
அது வந்து நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா சோறு போட்டுதுன்னு சொல்லலாம். There were times, right? So it was good always to keep the skill set up to date, do well what you do. So luckily I was spotted by people in Oracle, so they gave me a job even while I was in Singapore. So I relocated through a retained search firm, relocated to Redwood Shores at Oracle. That was, I would say, a big break for me. Went through, ஒரு முக்கியமானது என்னன்னா, I was still kind of paying the bank loan. சம்பளம் வாங்கி I was still paying. I closed the bank loan in 2006.
Wow, that's a long time.
Honestly, அப்பதான் வந்து I was able to sleep peacefully.
Correct.
There are people who used to tell India, there are people who used to tell it's normal for business, not very normal, but normal for businesses to don't do well and you just close down the business. Why the heck you need to pay the loan?
Correct.
And you could have just filed bankruptcy and close it down. But for me, there is something where if someone has given me money, trusting me, I have to give it back.
Correct.
It's just a concept. That's something I feel even today. My early investors in Techion, seed investors have made 400 times.
Wow.
400x return.
Wow.
And still sitting on more return. There will
I
be more
wish
return.
I was one of them.
Which is, I'm very happy. This is what makes me feel good, even though I started with my own money, but it feels good that, yes, people have trusted me and I'm able to give them better returns. A long story, so I'll pause there. And then Tesla was a very good breakthrough. I was at Oracle, then I was at VMware when it went IPO. I was there from the company, was at few hundred million and then was around 40 billion in revenue in 5 years.
Okay.
That was a great journey, learned so much. And
So
that's
this was
when I got
like
a call from
2006, 2005
no,
timeframe?
Good question. From a context perspective, VMware was 2007 to 2011.
Gotcha.
And then Tesla first called me in 2010, before IPO. Long story short, I didn't end up joining in 2010. I declined Tesla's offer.
Look at that.
And then I should say I'm lucky Elon kept me in mind and I got a call again in 2011, December. And then ended up joining Tesla. I had to take a pay cut. I have to leave a lot of stock, but I believe this is going to be something bigger. Never in my wildest dream I thought it will be this big, like where Tesla is. But fortunately, it all worked out better than I thought. So I took a calculated risk. It was a very exciting journey. I had opportunity to work with Elon, building, I think you briefly mentioned in the intro, if you shop at Tesla.com, that was built by me and my team in early days.
Wow.
I had the opportunity to sit with Elon and design that, click through. Of course, he was the visionary and I had this opportunity to bring that to life. And then build pretty much all of, most of, I should say, Tesla's platform. I was not in charge of the vehicle infotainment, but pretty much most of other software used to be in charge of at that time. And that gave me, the idea of starting Techion. The core idea of starting a company was always there with me as
What is the spark? When did you get the spark?
The spark was the failure.
Okay.
So when I couldn't run the business well in India, when we closed it down, it started a fire in me. Always I used to tell to myself, someday I'm going to start a company that's going to be really, really big and make it very successful.
So you were with Tesla for how many years?
A little bit over 4 years.
So you learned a lot from the boss.
Yeah, I would say it's the core time of the company, forming days of the company, and really that's when things started taking off big time. I'm very glad, very grateful that I was part of that journey.
So when you left the prestigious job at Tesla, you go home and tell your wife, I'm leaving Tesla, I'm starting a new company. What is the reaction from them?
So it was rough. I came from a little bit of entrepreneurial family. My dad had a business, and he's also a politician, and a long time. And I started my business and I had this failure. But my wife, just to give the background, she came from a very academic background. Her dad was a distinguished professor, head of computer science in GCT, and he was a dean and principal in Karunya Engineering College. So very academic background. My mother-in-law, my wife's mother, is a teacher. So she, lifelong teacher and retired. So they're all used to this, disciplined life, monthly salary and everything. So they thought I'm crazy leaving a job at Tesla, and my wife didn't sleep for months.
Wow.
It was not as big of a deal. Yes, for me, I was thinking about how am I going to get my business started.
So did you tell your friends that you left Tesla and you're doing something without telling the world? How do you feel it? When someone asks, hey, என்ன பண்ற நீ? நான் ஒன்றும் பண்ணலப்பா, சும்மா தான்ப்பா இருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்களா? Did you tell I'm working on something very disruptive?
I never said something working on something disruptive. I said I'm working on something, which it'll take some time, and I got a full spectrum of response. There are people who, so there was one of my direct reports at Tesla. After that, he took over, and he was running for almost many years. Okay. I had a dinner with him kind of when I was leaving. He definitely, I could see, he was very nice, but he did say, Jay, you are leaving, you are at the peak, you have the trust of Elon, you're doing great. You're going to do something big, you're not telling us what are you doing. In fact, his speculation, I said, okay, I have a speculation. I said, tell me what it is. Oh, he said, you're going to go work for Barack Obama. It's like, no. I said, no, that's not what I'm going to do. That's exactly what he said. He said, you're going to do something in the US government, that's why you're not telling me. I said, no, it's okay. I'm flattered that you think that way, but I said, no, I'm not going to do anything like that, but I'm going to start something.
So the story behind the name Techion starts with T, Tesla starts with T, and you're a Tamilan, starts with T. Any special reason you chose that name?
Nice way to put it. Yes, there is a reason for the name. So the name Techion came from the physics word tachyon particle. I'm sure you've seen science fiction, Flash, or probably a little bit comes in Star Wars. So the reason for that name was the original platform that we built at Tesla used to be called as, we called it at that time as warp drive. In Star Wars, warp drive is the one that warp core, which powers the Star Wars vehicles, right? So warp means speed of light. Warp speed is light speed. So me and my co-founder, we were brainstorming, okay, whatever we are doing has to be significantly better than what we did, right? Just from, everything has to be better than, next stage. So we were brainstorming what would be the app name, Lightspeed and things like that. It's like very common name, something different. Then we suddenly thought about this word tachyon particle. That means a particle that is faster than light. And there were two scientists who kind of hypothesized that, and one of them got Nobel Prize. One of them is an Indian, other one I think is Swedish. So we said, okay, that's a phenomenal word. That means a particle that is faster than light, something better, it symbolizes what I want to do. And then we morphed it to Techion so that we can trademark it. So that's how we did, and that's where the word came from.
That's an incredible story.
And nice way to put it, T, and T.
So tell, for the audience's sake, right, I know Techion has a lot of product lines. So give a brief introduction about what are the product offerings Tesla does and about the customers you guys have.
Yeah, so I've mentioned in some of the interviews, so the thing is car buying experience in the, compared to anything else, I just wanted to make sure that there is a benchmark, right? We all shop e-commerce, Amazon or Apple, we buy products. My early days of buying cars in the US itself was complicated. And so first time before even Tesla, tried buying a BMW. I did all the research, me and my wife spent almost 8 hours in a dealership.
Wow.
It was a painful experience. Out of that, say 30 minutes was test drive, which was enjoyable.
Did you tell that story to your wife when she said, when you're starting the company, I'm going to fix that problem?
Yes, we talked about, but yeah, she kind of said, oh, okay, how is that? Right? She didn't get the whole thing, but now she knows. And then I got this experience to build the platform for Tesla. I saw visibly how it changed, right?
Gotcha.
But at the same time, Tesla is a fast growing, but at that time, it was a fraction of the automotive industry. So 0.2%. In my view, 99.8% of the automotive industry is underserved big time. And it's fragmented, it's a century-old industry, disconnected systems. So if you buy from the manufacturer website, from the dealer website to anywhere else you go, it's all disconnected. It's not the same brand experience you're going to get. And while you could order anything in e-commerce today, but buying a vehicle is not that simple still, right? Somewhere, yes, wherever we are able to make that change, it's happening, but there is still a long way to go. So that prompted me that automotive is the largest consumer industry in the world in terms of dollar volume itself. My thought is, how can we deliver a technology platform that could enable making that experience seamless? It's a century-old industry, very complex, so we had to come up with a very good strategy and a platform. So we created 3 clouds, one platform. Automotive Retail Cloud, which is all the retailers, dealers, bringing them to the cloud. Entire operations, and you mentioned, it's true, we run the world's largest dealership, which is in Los Angeles. And if you go to manufacturer like General Motors, if you try to buy a Cadillac or a Chevrolet, you would see that's powered by Techion.
Is there any coupon code that Tamil entrepreneurs can use to buy a Cadillac?
Unfortunately, no. But when there is a deal going on, we'll send you some notification. But other than some probably employee discounts, there is really not much. But what I could promise is your experience is going to be much more seamless, much more transparent, consistent. So we built enterprise cloud for the big manufacturers. We built retail cloud for the retailers, and we built partner cloud, which is automotive is a big ecosystem. So when you buy a car, you have to connect to banks to get leasing, to get lending going. You have to do trade-in, credit checks. So we have like over 400 partners. We do API integrations. Okay. So it's been a great journey. Not an easy journey, first several years. Now, bringing together, it gives incredible satisfaction. So you need to bring entire ecosystem into one platform to deliver the experience that is necessary for the modern consumer.
Nicely put, very good. And when you start...
That's what Techion does, sorry. Yeah, it's a long explanation.
The nice way to put it, because they have 3 major products, actually. So when you started Techion, how did you convince top talent to join your team? Because when you start a startup, no one believes in you until they see the tangible outcome from that. So how do you convince, or how did you build your team from the scratch?
That is a great question. Honestly, it could be overlooked very easily, but it's a very important question. I'll tell you a few things. Maybe think about today Tesla is a massive brand. Okay, so I'll start there and then I'll tell you that's some learning I did. But, rewinding in 2011, 2012, honestly, I was not able to hire people for Tesla. Not many people knew. Today, Tesla is a big brand. People will most likely drop pretty much any job and would join. But at that time, I couldn't hire people easily. I did hire great talent. So the fundamental for me, hiring great people, you absolutely need the right people. And you need the great people for you to be successful. You need a great team. I would say the root is, if you truly believe in an idea, as any founder, any CEO, any leader, if your conviction has to be so strong, you should be able to convince others and make it their idea, which is the real leadership. And honestly, my thought process was, okay, why the heck I joined Tesla? I joined for a reason, right? I left Oracle, I left VMware, I was doing great. Why did I join Tesla? It was a startup. Not many people knew it. In fact, more news about Tesla in 2011, 12 were bad news. It will go bankrupt. People, yeah.
It's about not the what, not the how. It's the why that matters. Why you're doing it. Is that the right way to put it?
Exactly. You should ask why you're doing it, and then you should be genuine telling other people you're hiring, like, this is exactly why I made the decision. And you don't have to directly tell, but people should be realizing, okay, I'm not a fool. If I made a decision, there was a calculated risk. It's a big risk. Then I usually go about saying that why I'm passionate about this, why did I make the decision leaving VMware or leaving Oracle to come to this startup at that time. Tesla was a startup and burning a lot of money. It was not making money. And honestly, the same thing I had to do at Techion as well. It was very difficult. I'm in the heart of Silicon Valley. You have to hire great talent from companies which have like massive cash, like Google and Amazon and Facebook and a big list. So the way to go about it is like, okay, I am convinced about this idea. I'm passionate about this. Why this is going to be, extremely successful. You should be convincing them, telling them, not even convincing. I believe if you have so strong conviction, if your conviction is weak, you'll not be able to convince, great people. So you need to make sure that first you, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you have great conviction in your idea, and you should be in a position to go train it. Other people, tell them, like, this is why you need to be part of this.
Yeah, belief is an important factor. Leo Parthula dialogue varum. Leo nu nee nambunu first, right? That's exactly what he did. So every entrepreneur faces rejection and setbacks. So they go through tough moments, right? At that time, what Tamil song comes to your mind to motivate you? வாழ்க்கையில் ஆயிரம் தடைக்கல்லப்பா அது மாதிரி ஏதாவது சாங் வச்சிருக்கீங்களா?
And the song was now. So I'm glad you asked. I have a iTunes list I am all about uplifting Tamil songs. Kandipa, superstar songs are many songs. I'm a big believer from a thing about, typically I watch movies, anything that is positive and uplifting, but நிறைய Tamil song இருக்கு. I'll give a list to you what I listen.
I should steal from that from you.
Anything that is uplifting and sometimes it is good. நிறைய Tamil songs னு வெச்சுங்களேன்.
Very good, very good. Looking back, is there one failure that taught you more than any success? Failures are part of life, we understand it, but think about a failure that gave you more lessons than anything.
Yeah, since you asked one, I'd probably go back to my first failure of, starting my company in India. Honestly, it was not even I started the company, it was on me, but it's my responsibility. My dad started the company, but the company was in my name. The learning is, I would say, maybe I'll just say three things. Right? Okay. First is, the idea needs to be, yours, and then going back to that conviction on the idea, I don't think I had it because my dad started it, I had to be, taking over. So that's number one. You need to believe in your idea at the core. For you to be living, breathing, doing it, everything you're doing, right? So that's number one. Number two is delivering value. I learned it later in my career, right? That's why the experience in the US, it taught so much. Always delivering more value than expected of you. Yeah. Be it you're in a job, be it you're delivering a product or a service. Always strive to deliver more value than expected. I'll tell you why. Because some people may think it sounds philosophical, but the way is, ஒரு வேலையில இருந்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க வந்து, if you're a software engineer, you strive to perform as a senior software engineer or a lead software engineer. There are only two paths it could take. Either your boss and your company sees like, okay, this guy is already performing at a senior engineer or lead engineer, and they promote you. Okay, if they don't, you leave and go somewhere else because you're already skilled, good enough. So same thing goes for a product. It's like people should feel it's a no-brainer to pay what they are paying for your product. It's like Steve Jobs start people because நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா iPhone வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி people won't pay, and I was here in the US.
Exactly.
$50 is maximum. It comes with your telephone connection. AT&T வந்து either free phone கொடுப்பாங்க இல்லனா you give $50. But once Steve Jobs started delivering the phone, it's like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. People stand in line to buy that phone because they delivered incredible value. Then your phone and your app and everything, your life became your phone.
That's pure gold advice to everyone. So entrepreneurs often have ideas. Everyone have so many ideas here, but they always struggle with execution, right? So what's your advice for entrepreneurs here for turning that idea into the next big vision?
That's a very, very fundamental question. And I think even Elon tweeted about this. Ideas are, I shouldn't say easy, but compared to execution, ideas are easy. I'd say, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா எந்த ஐடியா எடுத்தாலும் there is, I would say 1,000 people to maybe 1 million people get the same idea. But who really takes the initiative, number one, first. And then next is who really brings that initiative to life. And then third one I would add, I don't think many people did, to make it commercially viable. அதுதான் வந்து I feel someone like Elon stands out like crazy because he's not only on the vision, but the way how he converts and makes it commercially viable. Because the reason is, without you making anything commercially viable, it's not sustainable.
There's no way.
If you don't make money, yes, you can say, I did something, transformed something, but end of the day, the value doesn't continue if it's not sustainable. So you have to make sure it's a very important one to how do you convert. So from that perspective, I see a few things. So one, you need a phenomenal team. You need a great team. And I invest in a lot of startups. I used to be on the boards of many. Because of Techion, I resigned from the boards. I've seen young entrepreneurs making mistakes is they want to do everything by themselves.
They don't delegate. They don't trust. They don't delegate.
That's a good thing. See, I've done that. Bought coffee, taking trash. That's all good. Anyone and everything. So the thing is, as the company, you need to think about skill set of delivering what you need to deliver as a company, service or product. You complement with good people, and don't have the ego of doing everything. I'm not saying you hire an army of people, but complement people. So for example, for me, I am good in software. I need someone very, very good in hardware, Internet of Things in early days. So my co-founder has all of those skills. I'm very good in software. I'm good in vision. I'm good in planning at a high level. I'm reasonably good in execution, but not great in execution. So I need very good operations people. So things like that, where you need to complement with really good people, and you need to make sure that those people believe in. Again, going back to that conviction. If you hire people only for money, only for salary, who are working only for that, yes, everyone needs salary, everyone needs to run their life and all of those. But if they don't believe in the purpose, it's not going to be wildly successful. I think from execution perspective, I say it's all about people, then making sure you enable those people, planning, and then go validate and execute.
That's lovely. So I think we have 3 more minutes left on the panel. I want to give a chance to the audience to ask any questions directly to Jay Vijayan. And while you guys are thinking about the question, I want to give a metric again. Last year, Techion was valued at over $4 billion, okay? $4 billion. They have 3,000 employees all around the world, right? A Tamilan managing 3,000 employees all over the world, that's a huge thing. So we should be proud of ourselves.
Hello.
So over to you guys.
Check.
Yes,
Hi, I'm Soukya.
Good.
So I had a pleasure of having a chat with him, I think 3 years back. It's a similar format. Now, since we are a core AI company, is there any way here we can be a vendor to you or a co-development partner in your ecosystem? Because many of my clients are using your product in New York.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 ways, thanks for asking. One, we develop pretty much mostly in-house. So co-development is may not be possible in the near term. But vendor as a partner, so our partner cloud, so we have almost 400 partners, many of the AI startups companies. If you are able to deliver services to automotive industry, dealers or OEMs, you can always start engaging with dealers. Anything, there are voice AI startups for booking appointments. I'm just giving an example. So we have open APIs and we have different levels of partnership. We have enterprise partners, we have strategic partners, definitely. Techion website poitu partner cloud paranga, and just send me a note if you have any questions. I'll connect with the right people.
This conference is making everyone's life easier. See how we are connecting people.
Yeah, actually, I wrote கொஞ்ச நாளாவே பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம் அந்த partnership பத்தி, but now it's a good opportunity to
very good
open up for the.
So, very good. That was very inspirational. Any other questions from the audience? There's one question coming up from here and one question here. So we have time for 2 more questions. Let's give it to.
First, thank you for coming in here.
Sure.
You are always an inspiration for so many people.
Thank you.
And ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு கைதட்டலும் கொடுக்கலாம் ஜெய்க்கு. எம்ப்ளாயில இருந்து என்டர்பிரினராக ஆகும்போது அவர் கேட்டார் அந்த கேள்வியை, ஒய்ஃபு ஃபேமிலி அப்படிங்கிறது, வாட் ஆர் ஆல் த ப்ரீ குவாலிஃபிகேஷன் யூ நீட் டு அவேர் ஆஃப் அப்படிங்கிறத இங்கே புதுசாக தொழில் தொடங்குறவங்களுக்கு வாட் ஆர் ஆல் த ஒரு 5 இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் ஸ்டெப்ஸ் தே நீட் டு ஹேண்டில் அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்லுங்கள். தேங்க்யூ.
Yeah, no, good question, Caldwell. So I'll just give my experience and see. There are many ways to get somewhere. My experience, first, as I said, number conviction need to be strong to whatever we are doing. And of course, not every step was visible. I never thought we'll be crossing 4 billion, anything, right? So I had this vision. I want to make it really, really big. I didn't have a number in mind. I'm going to drive it even higher. 4 billion is just the beginning. I feel we're going to go bigger and bigger. There's a lot of opportunity in the future. So first, it was a bit unnerving. My wife, she didn't sleep for months. Every night she'll start talking to me, saying like, okay, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this? But I can understand. Na sonna mari avanga mindset was a little bit different. But even though it was not easy for me, still I was very focused on, okay, I need to prepare. Let's start thinking about what am I going to do. I did get job offers, by the way. There is, big companies, very big companies. One of the company became one plane manufacturing company, which became an investor in my company because I declined important job with them. So anyway, first on the conviction, and then you need to be prepared to hit failures. Take no for answer. Nariya no's will be there. Doors will not open. I've had pitches after pitches, be it investment or be it a relationship. I think Ramesh Tapesir in the po. I told, for example, General Motors is a big customer for us. It took 2.5 years to open doors. Not only that, door open then we realized there was a potential. I thought things will fall through big time. There was a big executive who was supporting. So anyway, the thing is prepare for failures. And then the third one is channel your energy. It will sound philosophical, but that's how it worked for me, to be honest with you. It's a conscious decision you have to make. Channel the energy towards solution-based thinking, objective solution-based thinking. Otherwise, things will pull you down. People will get very, entrepreneurship is tough nowadays. A lot of people are doing, which is great, but it is very, very tough. So you have to, when I say, there are many things which are talked about in a similar way, but it's a very good concept, especially important for entrepreneurs, is you will face problems. When you face problems, you acknowledge the problem and then immediately shift your energy and thinking towards okay, what am I going to do to solve that problem? It works in two ways. So one, if you don't do that, if you keep thinking about the problem, it's a conscious shift in mind. If you keep thinking about the problem will only grow. Day and night, problem, okay, what the heck is now, the company will go bankrupt, I'll run out of money. The thing is shifting your energy to say, okay, what am I going to do? And then start doing it. Even or email or text towards solving it. You don't need to solve it. Taking an action, honestly, will bring your stress level down. And then keep going at it. One by one, how are you going to do the next steps? I would say, I tried to explain that concept, but the fundamental thing is about solution-based thinking. Convert your energy. When you run into a problem, acknowledge it. I'm not saying, throw the problem under the rug and close it. That's not the right thing because it'll blow up on you big time. Acknowledge it and think immediately about, that's what worked for me, and I do it even today. And we have, of course, bigger company, bigger problems. Always be there. So I think those are the bigger, I'll say, concepts. And then to your loved ones, I don't do good enough job, I think. I think we should do more. I'm just thinking, I try. Communicating is your close circle. You need their support. So communicating is important. When I say communicating in the language, what they will understand. Early days, I used to assume that, because otherwise what happens is your entrepreneurship is stressful. You go, you get grumpy with others. It's a very bad downward spiral. So instead of that, it's better to communicate saying what's going on. Things didn't work out in a short way. Again, I always measure it because there are certain things I know how much stress I can handle. There are certain things I know how much my wife can handle. But I'll tell only enough so that she's aware. And I don't go in through how bad it is. So on the working with your closer friends, people who really bounce ideas, you can get very good direct feedback. You have to be very careful there because some people can pull you down big time. So you need to identify your close circle where you feel open enough to bounce ideas and get their opinion. You don't have to do what they are saying. You should they should be comfortable that their advice will not be taken all the time, but they always give advice in your best interest. So those are the concepts I feel. I'm just thinking out, since you asked, I didn't prepare for this answer. I'm just thinking about my experience and sharing with you.
That was truly inspiring. And
just
one more question.
Okay. So, hey, it's not a question, but more of a comment. We have so much opportunity to give back to the community, number one. And much is in need at Tamil Nadu for entrepreneurs and students and everything. When we are successful, I think one of the things we can do together is to probably mentoring entrepreneurs across the globe for Tamil community, as well as doing something back for the society. We just want to hear your thoughts, how you are thinking about it, where you want to go from here.
Very much. Good question. I'll give a little bit background. I wish we could do more of it. நாங்கள் வந்து சென்னையில் ஆஃபீஸ் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுங்களேன். I consciously started office in Chennai. So சென்னையில் வந்து ஒரு 450 பேர் இருக்காங்க சென்னை ஆஃபீஸ். Of course, சென்னையில் வந்து everyone is from Tamil Nadu. We have an office in Bangalore, but we have plans to grow our Chennai office. In fact, last weekend தான் வந்தேன் நான். The week before I was there, and I was in MIT, so we Techion sponsored a AI lab in MIT. So so I do that. Of course, we can do more of it. And to your question, there are plans to do more. As we continue to grow, we'll contribute. என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நீங்கள் கேட்டது வந்து it's a very important thing. All of us at the right stage, I mean, too early, we need to grow. நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி things have to be sustainable. So we need to be big enough and then make it sustainable. And giving back to the community, giving back to the society, I do believe in. I want to do more of it in the future. So I feel all of us should do whatever we can and keep increasing.
Yeah. So that is inspirational. In essence of time, we have to give time to...
வணக்கம். நீங்கள் மாநில கல்லூரியில் படிச்சுன்னு சொன்னீங்க. அதனால் ஒரு மகிழ்ச்சியான செய்தி. நானும் மாநில கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள். நிறைய பேர் மாநில கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள் இருக்காங்க இங்கே. பிரசிடென்சி காலேஜில் ஏழை எளிய மாணவர்கள் தான் இப்போ படிக்கிறாங்க. ஒரு காலத்தில் வந்து பிரசிடென்சி காலேஜில் படிக்கிறவங்க பணக்காரர்களாகவும் ஜமீன்தாரர்களாகவும் இருந்த கல்லூரி. அந்த கல்லூரி அன்னைக்கு பேக்வர்டு கிளாஸ், ஷெட்யூல் கிளாஸ் இப்படி தான் இருக்காங்க இருக்கிறவங்க. அதனால் எம்ஐடிங்கிற வசதியான கல்லூரிக்கு நீங்கள் நான் கூட கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க. ஏழை மாணவர்கள் படிக்கிற கல்லூரிக்கு இப்போ சமீபத்தில் வந்து தமிழ்நாடு அரசாங்கத்தினுடைய முதலமைச்சரே அங்கே படித்தவர் தான். அதனால் அவர் முதலமைச்சராக வந்த உடனே நாங்கள்லாம் போய் அவரோட ரொம்ப ப்ரெஷர் பண்ணி அங்கே ஒரு பெரிய ஆடிட்டோரியம் கொண்டு வர சொன்னோம். உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், பிக் இங்கிலீஷ் லெக்சரர் ஆள். அந்த ஒரே ஆள் தான் காலமெல்லாம் வண்டி ஓட்டிகிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அங்கே இருக்கிறவங்க 150 பேர் உட்காரலாம். இப்போ 1000 பேர் உட்காருகிற பெரிய ஆடிட்டோரியம் அடுத்த மாதம் திறக்க போகிறாங்க.
சந்தோஷம்.
நிறைய வசதிகள் மாநில கல்லூரிக்கு செய்ய வேண்டியிருக்கிறது. 1857 தொடங்கப்பட்ட கல்லூரி அது. அதுக்கு உங்கள் பெயரால் ஏதாவது பண்ணுங்கள். அங்கே வந்து ஓல்டு பாய்ஸ் அசோசியேஷன் ரொம்ப பவர்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது. அதில் நீங்கள் ஆக்டிவாக வருங்க. இந்த தமிழ்நாடு ஃபவுண்டேஷன் ஆரம்பித்த நம்ம பழனி பெரியசாமி, அவரும் பிரசிடென்சி காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டு தான். அங்கே வந்து பிரசிடென்சி காலேஜ் ஓல்டு பாய்ஸ் அசோசியேஷனுக்கு பிரசிடெண்ட் ஆகி பெரிய அளவில் அவர் ஒரு பெரிய உதவிகள்லாம் பண்ணார். அங்கே வந்து அந்த மாதிரி நீங்களும் பண்ணணும்.
கண்டிப்பாக சார்.
அதற்காக உங்களை வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன்.
ரொம்ப நன்றி சார். தேங்க்யூ. ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி கிடைக்கல. If you can just connect me to the right people, we'll get it going.
Thank you. So it does not matter where you start. What matters is how far you're willing to go. Thank you, Jay, for your time. So ladies and gentlemen, please give one more round of big applause to Jay Vijayan.
Thank you, Ramesh.